I just want to tell you all about the GBE. So that's the Great British Empire. So like, they used to have EDL and MDL and NF, and they were all racist groups, and they reckoned they were for the greater good of Britain and all that lot. And they weren't. They were just fucking drunks trying to get fucking go out. What EDL ended up being was, at the time of EDL, they gave out match bans for hooliganism. So what it ended up being is the lads who weren't allowed to go to football started going to EDL. Now that wasn't Yaxley's thing. It wasn't Tommy Robinson. He didn't design it to be that way. It's just they're the people that joined up. So they're the people that went. So what we're doing now is it's the GBE. It's not a racist movement. Asians and any people of colour, black people, like people of foreign origin, can join the GBE. And what we do is we spread awareness for corrupt services. So like council services, social services, police, any NHS or all like that. If like drug dealing, doctors and stuff like that, we're against all that sort of stuff. We spread awareness for it. What we try to do with the awareness is we try to spread the awareness, and then with the awareness what you can do is use intervention then, and people, you're aware of the wrongdoings that people are doing, and then you can intervene, or somebody else can intervene and help you to stay out of trouble, sort of thing. So as long as you're aware, if everybody's aware of it and then somebody's doing something wrong, it's personal intervention, like the police are encouraging. None of this is illegal. None of this is illegal at all. It's great to spread awareness for corrupt services. We don't just do corrupt services. I'm just explaining now why we do that. And there's no reason. The police encourage intervention as long as it's non-violent. So it's when someone's corrupt or somebody's been outside of what's in the public's interest or what's guidelines for their company, and you're right, you intervene to help somebody else out. And they hopefully, if everybody's doing that, then when you're in the shit, somebody should intervene, or you can at least identify when you're being mistreated. So we spread awareness for police and governmental corruption within councils, within cities. So we're not going big, we're not trying to go for Labour, or and I back Conservatives, so I'm not gonna, but we're not going for Keir Starmer and stuff like that, and any corruption within their thing. I'm not saying that they do it. I'm just saying that's not what we're trying to identify. We're trying to identify, this is for the small people in the small places like the towns and the cities, to help us out, sort of thing, to keep. They'll help us out at the top. Boris and that lot and Rishi and that lot will help us out when we're right, and we're doing it right, white collar, no violence, and we're identifying when things are wrong. Then the people at the top will help us out, because that's their intention. Because they help us out when we're right, we give them respect and vote them back in. And that's how it works, isn't it? So we're spreading awareness for police and governmental corruption within towns and cities, social services. We spread awareness for domestic controlling and sexual violence among all ages, women and men, in all cases. Any sort of domestic violence, controlling behaviours and stuff like that. That includes your drug dealer bullying you to put a fucking crop in your fucking bedroom, that sort of thing. And then we're spreading awareness for free education. So we get rid of all the bad, and then we maximise on what the good we've got. So free education in the sense of online courses and online literature to be able to aid you in passing them courses. And that's us. That's the GBE, Great British Empire. It's like I say, anybody can join up. We are doing stuff. There's the NWO, New World Order. That's a bit more complex than the GBE. That's more higher up stuff. It's not really to do with corruption. It's more finding situations where English trained foreign nationals or descendants of foreign nationals can expand the empire. A bit cheeky in it, but it's basically where English educated, like Indians, Jamaicans and people from foreign nationals, we can get them back into India, Jamaica and Africa, Pakistan and places like that, Lithuania, places where people have come from, with our education to help build that back up, to make that equal to here sort of thing, to level up. It's about world levelling up is NWO, but it's one of the, you got to get enough people on board, because just having an odd person out there is not going to make a fucking difference. So it's like when we have these, like in Syria and stuff like that, and stuff that goes on, NWO is more about sending the people who are educated from Britain, who are actually from them countries and have more familiarity, and then people have more familiarity with our foreign nationals. You see, they get along better. The languages, there's not as much language barriers and stuff like that. The Indians and stuff here are more equipped to help Indians in India than the English people or anybody else. So there's no point sending anybody else really. We're better off training Indian lads up, or lasses, to be able to go out and help them in India. And I'll tell you now, Labour, I'm not backing Labour, I've told you I'm a Conservative, but the Labour, I can't remember her name, there's a Labour lass for Bradford, and when India had all the floods, she'd done it, mate. She got all the group together and went and done NWO shit straight up, and mate, respect for that. And I don't like Labour, you know that, but yeah, backing that shit. And that's what it's about. It's about when them foreign countries have disasters like they're having, that the people here that we've educated and that we brought over in 1970s, educated generation after generation. Now them generations that we're on now, the youth, the 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds, we can be sending them with the full education back there, to be giving them optimum opportunity to be able to help themselves. And that's what it's all about. That's what the NWO is. But like I say, GBE, anybody can join that up. It's more, like I say, in-town corruption, in-city corruption, sort of stuff like that. But NWOs, it's more foreign national based, for the foreign nationals and stuff, to be able to educate themselves here and go over and utilise that back in the native situations and help whatever struggles they've got over there, basically. So yeah, that's a bit about gang shit. I don't think we have any gang signs about just yet, but if anybody wants to make some up or out like that, it's. And GBE, it's not. There's no entrance fee. There's no meetings that you have to come to. It's a way of life. It's the spreading of awareness and the intervention on when you're seeing them problems happening, and basically anybody can do it. You start up your own little splinter cell if you can do. You start up a group, get you send a couple of people who you do it with, and then you go around and do it, and make sure you stay safe while you're doing it. Keep in contact with police and stuff like that. because like I say, it's not an illegal movement. It's something that they will promote as well when you tell them what you're doing. No violence if you can. We're trying to stay white collar. I mean, self-defense is fine when you need to defend yourself, but you shouldn't be getting into situations where you've antagonised people and they feel like they want to hurt you. Just try and do it all reasonably and stay decent with folk and like just put it in their head, like I say. Yeah, it's one of them. It's yeah. So look after yourself.